All right, we're back, and now I have the Americans here, and we're going to talk about the best helicopters in this whole game, the Cobras. They're fast, they're sleek, and they have firepower that can knock out anything on the table. So, with that in mind, Mick.
Don't go first. Don't go first.
How's your experience?
They're brilliant, but don't get up close. The Gatling gun may sound great, throwing down 6 dice, but it's not a good idea. Stay back, hide behind, do your pop-up and take shots.
Really? Because they were telling us just a minute ago that don't get in close with the Cobras because the Cobra's Gatling will take you out.
No, it may have a lot of dice, but you're hitting on 5s, so the chances aren't in your favour. And that's how what I found out pretty quickly. So it's better stay back and use your rockets and your missiles to just take them out and chip away.
Okay.
But I seriously, definitely go, if you're going first, keep them back. Don't go straight in because you will be taken out.
Okay. Well, what do you think, Shane?
I wouldn't totally agree. It just depends how you get your timing, because the Heinz rocket is a minimum 8-inch range, and I've been hit with a few of them, and you're gone as soon as they hit you. So if you can, on your turn or something like that, if you can get inside their range, forcing them out, you have a good chance of taking them out in a firefight. So from my point of view, the hiding behind the building is great. The pop up, shoot, pop back down, and you still effectively haven't moved, so you're getting your full rate of fire, you're getting your 6 shots, but you have to move to get inside the 8 inches, so that'll bring you down to 3. So if he's foolish enough to go inside your zone, then you're going to get him. But if you go inside his zone, then your rate of fire is reduced by half, and he might be getting his full rate of fire against you. So I think inside the zone, whoever goes into the zone is the more foolish guy. The person who's able to stay still and dish it out when the person comes into their zone is on a winner all the time. So from, I think, both players' point of view, if you can sit back and shoot, then you have the advantage. But the Cobra can always just hide behind buildings. So in theory, the Cobra, it has the advantage over the Heinz any day. But that's why they're twice the price, you know.
So let me ask you guys, you've had a chance to play with them. How do they change the game now that you've added them to the game with the tanks?
Yeah, they added an extra element, and they're great to play with. They're very, very good. I started taking out a lot more tanks, so go for that, but still lost.
What about you?
I find that they've forced the tanks to make decisions. So they'll force the tanks to say, I have to shoot this helicopter down on his turn, which excludes the tanks from shooting on their turn. So therefore, on their turn, they have to run and hide because someone else might be coming around with other tanks to get them. So it adds another layer or level to the game, which I find is great. So that's the main thing now regarding the helicopters that.
So defensively, when you now have the helicopter, so in the Heinz, in you guys' case, you're fighting against, do you worry about the Heinz first, or do you worry about armor that's closing in on you?
Heinz, because the Heinz have greater rate. They can get anywhere. They can move around. There's no limit to how far they can travel, and they can just creep up here, which happened to me. I had to get in close to him because he was going to get me no matter what with his missile. So it was an all or nothing. Because I went first, so I'd give him away the advantage to him. So, but it's great.
How about you, Shane?
Well, points-wise, I think the Heinz is cheaper points-wise than their equivalent tank, and the Cobra is cheaper than the equivalent tank in the Americans as well. But I think they seem more deadly for their points than the tanks do, relatively in same terms, because the weapons they can fire, the missiles they can fire, can take out a tank nearly as easy as the guns that take out the other tanks can do. So points wise, I think they're really good in the game. And I think it'll just take a few practice games to get a handle on how to work with them and how to protect against them. Now, another reason why I think their points are lower is because we're playing in a game where there's not a lot of AA. So if you take out the other person's helicopters, all you're left with is a couple of miniguns on the big tanks that you have to dedicate to taking out the opposition's helicopters. So the fact that there's not a lot of AA in the game makes them maybe more powerful than you think they are, because once you bring the AA in, then it changes the dynamic again. It's kind of like paper, rock, scissors. It's all about getting the balance within your army that you can take it from all angles, So that's how I find it,
You don't sacrifice, you don't move. You got a 50 cal on the Abrams, and that throws 3 dice if you don't move.
Yes, but I'm not sure if you can use the 3 dice against a helicopter. It has to be a anti-aircraft designed in order to get the full rate of fire. So you're only getting 1 shot off each gun when you're shooting aircraft. So they will struggle against aircraft if there's nothing else there dedicated to taking out aircraft. Now I'm starting the game there with the infantry, and so the transports for the infantry and stuff, the 113s, has a bit of AA in it as well. So that might help out the tanks. It might give the tanks a bit of a relief, and your other helicopters are a relief to take out the other opposition's tanks, because they're the hardest things to take out anyway in general,
So there you have it. Helicopters add that whole new dimension to the game. What have we learned so much about Team Yankee to this point? This game is fast. Everything can kill anything, and you need to have some luck with the dice on your side. And there is a lot of strategy in this, and where you're going to place, where you're going to move ahead. So we're going to keep following these guys throughout the rest of the weekend. We'll see what's going on, who fares better. Obviously, I'm cheering for the Americans. We'll see what happens. And remember, follow us here on Beast of War and comment on these. And you could win a 2-player starter set, including 2 rule books and a starter of the Soviet Army and a starter of the American Army. So comment below and keep watching.